What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. It's 24 hours later since the Broken Rain incursion dropped. I have not had much sleep. I'm not sure about you guys after a mammoth almost 18-hour stream, but there was loads of other news yesterday, so we're going to take some time now to wrap it all up. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get straight into it with a clip from the Division's watch party stream. They covered a whole bunch of things there, but I took two things from the actual stream itself that was probably pretty important information, and it actually goes on to some other stuff that's been going on in the community. So let's start with the juicy parts. All right, so Leo, take it away.
Other players have tried to play this Broken Rain incursion before. Today I can start just to clarify this topic, because this might appear a few times in the chat. Nobody has ever played Broken Rain outside Ubisoft before today, so this is the first day that everybody's having access to that. We haven't shared with content creators, ETF. Nobody has had the chance to touch Broken Rain. It's being kept as a secret. We know that some players through PTS have data mine information, and cheaters might have access to some information, but that was not intentional, not intended. We never shared anything with anyone, and we had to cancel the words first because of this situation. But we didn't share anything with content creators, ETF. Nobody has ever played. This is going to be the first time, and this is why we're so excited to see people trying. So just to clarify this, because we saw the question and we want to make sure that everybody understands what is our position about that.
Thank you, Leo. And I really did just want to mention this because obviously I am part of all of that. I am in the ETF. I was part of the sponsored stream segments that went on with Destiny creators yesterday. And there was these rumors going around that people still will believe, because people will believe what they want to believe. But as with the official stance right there, before we went into that yesterday, absolutely none of us had seen or been in or anything like that. Cheaters will be cheaters, and yes, they're the people that should be taking the flak for this. They have cheated. They have spoilt the world's first race for absolutely everybody. That would have been a really nice and exciting time. But let's just hope that next time around, Massive don't make those same mistakes and letting files be in the PTS beforehand, and therefore we don't get this whole situation all over again. But the reason I mention that as well is that it does lead on to some of the other parts of the community conversation that has been going around, and that is, well, how are these Destiny guys going to be able to even do this? Some of them haven't played it, some of them played it years ago, some of them have very little experience. Well, my group was pretty awesome, so from my point of view, we had jumped in and done some farming beforehand. Luckily enough, Strikers was in escalation, and we all know that with prototype gear, when you drop, it basically drops as maxed out gear set gear, so none of its values retain. It normalizes all the way down. So if they were able to come into escalation with me, and we were actually able to carry them through, level 2, level 3, and level 4, and they were essentially getting given maxed out gear. Is that a problem with the game? Actually, that probably is a bit of a problem. It allows people to progress right to the end game with no real progression there. They didn't have to do their expertise or anything like that. Yes, they were lacking shade level, but again, we can just use stats to kind of make up for that. They didn't have any shade levels. Mods were, 80% rolled that we were getting, so they did pretty well out of that as well. But Massive did another thing for us all yesterday. We got an event pass for the incursion, the Broken Rain event pass. And this is all linked together because it all kind of comes together really nicely, because before we went into the incursion, we actually opened these Broken Rain build caches that were in the pass. And that netted us some really, really good gear, which was pretty crazy. That then helped us top up the stuff we'd already been farming before the date. So the build number 1 that you see here, so there's a build cache and a weapons cache. So the build cache for this one came with a big owl and a gear shift, and it came with a tipping scale set, equalizer, and a Centurion scabbard. None of this was absolutely maxed out, by the way, but we all know that tipping scales and a big owl is a really, really good set for anybody to play with, especially newer people to the game. And they've not had to do any grinding just to get that. It was literally free as the beginning part of the event pass. We did get some tier skips because there's a pretty, well, we'll go into that in a minute. There is a premium bundle pass that you can get that gives you some tier skips as well. But then the further down, and not very far further down, we'll find it in just a minute. Then obviously there's all these random caches with the named caches and things like that. We're not too bothered about looking at the recal caches and things like that. And I will do another video, as always, looking at the vanity. But then we've got Broken Rain build 2. Now, this is not one that I would like to use, but it's very much needed for Broken Rain. It's a healer build. It also comes with a bittersweet exotic rifle and a lefty being absolutely awesome for this. It comes with as well, what is even crazier, you get a birdie's backpack, quick fix backpack, which is great for resin people, and the new benefactor chest piece that just came out not long ago. So again, really, really, really good stuff in that set. It does come with the Ortiz set, which not brilliant, but yeah, still some good pieces in there. The Birdie's quick fix backpack is crazy, that's for sure. And not only that, if you open these when you're in a group, the usual division rules apply. The overflow will allow you to share with your teammates, even though that's probably not quite intended that you're able to do that. So therefore then, at that point, these guys were pretty geared up, and that led to this. 1 hour 43 minutes later, me and a biker, so big shout out to biker from my community, who pretty much healed us all massively for the time that we were in there. That led to us completing it in 1 hour 43 minutes and 55 seconds. And big shout out to Fallout and Frosty. They were really, really good. You can tell that these guys are gamers. These guys are gamers. Yes, they might be Destiny gamers, but they were just natural gamers. They listened. They said, they took good positioning, and you could just tell. I'm an old man nowadays. I'm not that much of a gamer as I used to be, but these guys were just good gamers. And I'm not trying to just glaze them there, but if you was with us live yesterday and watched it, the boss encounters went fairly well. I think we kind of got through all the boss encounters first time around, and really the biggest part that we had a problem with was escorting the dog, and that was because we didn't know the first few times that you could actually leave the dog behind. If you got far enough separation, he actually stops walking. So yeah, that was a really, really good time. And before any of you people that says, oh, they got through it first time, how did they know all the mechanics? Well, the game went live previously and went live before this sponsored segment happened, and I'd already completed it and figured it out with my squad a couple of hours beforehand. I think it was like 3.5 hours before the sponsored segment, so I'd already done it twice at that point, and that obviously helped. This would have been much, much harder if we would have had to figure it out as well along with everything else. The Broken Rain bundle comes with the event pass. The regular event pass is 1,000 premium credits. This one is 1,750. But for that extra 750, you're going to get 20 tier skips that will get you the loadouts that we talked about a little bit earlier on. It will get you 25 stash slots. And it's also going to get you an exotic weapon skin if you're lucky enough to drop the new exotic rifle from the brand new Broken Rain Incursion. And that is pretty huge, because as you 20, if you are a newer player and you might not even be going in there and playing Broken Rain, but you're going to get given this Broken Rain build 1 for absolutely free. You can see there it's a free item, and then you're going to be taken all the way down to here to 20, which again is all that gear for absolutely free without even having to buy that pass. So yeah, a bit of a buff to the entire community, to be honest. when it comes to gear, because some of that stuff, you know, especially for newer people, won't even be available for them to get, depending on how far they are through the game. One bit of news outside of this, unfortunately the game does still seem to be plagued with audio bugs. I had multiple audio bugs in the Incursion yesterday. The LMG sound bug came back, that was pretty horrible. And then a couple of points later on in the day, my audio seemed to degrade completely in the final boss area, where all of the voiceovers were delayed a lot and sound effects were missing. I couldn't really hear the sirens going off to be able to complete the task that you need to in that final beat. So yeah, that was pretty tough. A complete relog actually fixed it. I had to, but not just to log in, log out. I had to come out of the game completely and then reload back up. So that still seems to be an issue, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we did get some other information from the live stream yesterday as well. So Leo, take it away.
Rewards as well. We have backpack trophies. This first one is the Margaret Steel Mask Backpack Trophy. This, I think this is the Silly Beaver Backpack Trophy.
Yes.
So you need to shoot all 30 beavers in a single session. So dying or wiping does not reset progress. You just need to shoot them all. And we have
animal cruelty again. First the dog, and now we got the beavers we have to kill.
And the description of this backpack trophy is a damn fine achievement, which is a great joke. The Margaret Steel Mask Backpack Trophy. You have to complete the final encounter without anyone in the party going down. So they can go down and die before the encounter, but during the encounter, no one NPC or boss can defeat them. So these are the two.
So thank you for that, Leo. We have got some new backpack trophies that we're able to get. But somebody in my chat popped up yesterday and said there is another reward that was actually shown in the trailer. That's right, there is a mask reward. And big shout out to Toasty for the screenshot here, who has actually managed to get the mask. But as you can see there, it's a variant of the one that we're able to buy in the store. It's actually a color variant, which I would have really liked it to be something quite separate and quite special. But it's the beats per minute mask. And you can see there, it's awarded for the flawless completion of Operation Broken Rain with no downs. So pretty hard, that one. A little bit easier, it sounds like the previous one that we had. We weren't even allowed to use med packs in that one. But yeah, the whole thing without any downs. But that's probably kind of understandable, as this one is a much bigger. The areas are much crazier than the last Incursion. A couple more things just before we wrap up the video. We have got Twitch drops available. You can get these with me. A lot of people got these with me yesterday. We've got a couple of arm patches, named cash, exotic cash, which is always nice, and a weapon skin, which obviously goes with the theme of Broken Rain. And this is going to be available up until August the 18th if you watch any selected stream for 4 hours. And then last but not least, we got our very first sneak peek for preview art for the up-and-coming Central Park DLC. And I feel like they've dropped this just as a little tease before we move into Gamescom, where hopefully we will find out more. But it looks very overgrown. Everything is very green in this photo. And they said this was a borough just outside of Central Park, so that obviously means that, you know, the DLC is not literally just the Central Park area, which I think that would have been pretty small. But this is one of these surrounding boroughs. But yeah, this is pretty crazy when you look at this. You know, you see all the vegetation that's growing all the way up here. Like, there has clearly been absolutely nobody in this area for such a long time. And quite honestly, it's giving me real I Am Legend vibes. I'm just expecting Will Smith and his dog to walk down the street just here. So yeah, pretty crazy. We got 3 agents here. I've not took a huge deep dive into this yet. I Anis, as always, said zoom in, have a look, see what you can find. But as of right now, all I can really make out is the vegetation. Everything else looks kind of normal that you would expect from roaming around the New York areas with these kind of Serra areas just outside. We have them already. So yeah, I'm going to have to take a bit more of a zoom in to see if I can find anything else. But let me know in the comments down below, have you spotted anything that my very tired eyes are not spotting right now? But that is going to be it for the video. If you tuned in yesterday, big shout out to you guys. Thank you for making it such a huge success. I will be live doing more runs in the Incursion. If you need some help, feel free to join the Discord. Get yourself prepped up beforehand. All them links are down below. But as always, agents, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.